This time on MTB.
He drove the tractor in the garage.
Yeah. If it starts moving, get out of the way. What?
He's a relative by my grandma's remarriage.
They bought 22 bottles of barbecue sauce for 3 cents a bottle.
The context of Deuteronomy, you are so dumb. You are really, really dumb.
His will for you is the same as it is for everybody else. You're in charge of eating your food.
What should have taken 40 days has taken them 40 years. A man's word is his bond.
An owl's legs are its downfall.
So you're saying it's an Innie.
Is the phrase old rugged cross in the Bible.
I think it's Outty.
So I think we're saying it's an Outty.
You're saying it's an outie.
I'm saying it's an Outty.
Mike the Baptist.
Hey, welcome to Mike the Baptist.
Again.
For the second time. Okay, so full disclosure right off the bat. I forgot to turn the microphones on the recordings. So we had a nice little 15-minute chat there about lots of really interesting things.
Yeah.
Which you'll
What's that old
get to
country
hear
song?
about.
Wasted days and wasted nights.
Yeah, that's what just happened. But we're back. Welcome back to Mike the Baptist. Welcome back, Jason Riccardi.
What's up? How you doing?
Good to see you back. You've been gone for a while.
I have been gone for a little bit.
Heavens to Betsy knows where.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I believe that.
I was there and I
really
don't
do.
even know.
I believe that. Wherever you've been, it's good to have you back because we miss you when you're not around.
Yeah.
You have things.
Your aim is bound to improve from this distance, though.
Huh? Well,
You said you've missed me.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
your aim is bound to
Yeah.
improve from this distance.
We've been practicing. Well,
Yeah.
we'll hit you here in a minute. I said earlier, I do want to say again, to repeat, to get this on the record, that I do look forward to what rolls out of your brain here today. And what rolls out of H.D. Jones's brain.
Which is going to have to wake up. But, hey, it's good to be here.
Yeah, you'll get there. You'll get all greased up mentally here in a minute and get all excited about things and maybe. Speaking of things rolling out of our brains, we're going to have a front porch visit here in a little bit, like we oft do.
Yeah.
And going to talk about something I think might be interesting. We'll see.
Yeah.
Actually, it started out interesting previously when we weren't recording it, so I'm hoping we get right back to that.
Yeah.
In fact, Jason was right in the middle of a good story.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
We'll get back to it.
Yeah.
We're going to play Inny or Outie towards the end of the program, like we always do. And
It's a great family game show.
It is. It's very family friendly.
Yep.
It's
Inny or
always
Outie.
it's always
not just for belly
entertaining.
buttons.
Right.
Not just for belly buttons anymore.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, actually. Anyway, I've got a good one for you guys. Y'all being preachers and such, I think it's going to be a good one. But I think that about all of them. So, Hoot and Annie, you brought up Hoot and Annie
yeah.
last week. We whipped that out on the newbie Noah, and I think Noah said towards the end of the conversation he was going to say Innie because he wanted it to be.
He wanted it to be there. Yeah.
Hoot and Annie was not, just for the record. We're going to do all that, but we're also going to talk about some stuff we found in the Bible. What are we talking about this week, Jason?
So we're going to be in a book of the Bible called Deuteronomy, and we're going to be talking in chapter 4. And really, the big idea is obedience and all the different ways that's kind of expressed in your life.
It's my favorite topic.
Yeah, I bet you love being obedient. You're not rebellious at all.
No,
Not even a little.
There's this rumor, and I've been branded as such, but that's not really. It's not really true.
It's funny that you said that with a largely straight face.
Largely, but you'll notice I squinted and looked away.
Yeah, you don't make eye contact.
Right. Anyway, yeah, I look forward to talking about that. I do. www.mikethebaptist.com. It's a website. That's why you say www. People don't even say www anymore now, do they?
No.
MikeTheBaptist.com. Comments at MikeTheBaptist.com. See it on your screen there if you're watching. Anyway, email. Send us an email for that. And we've already discussed, but we'll say it again, that we know you're out there, but you don't send us emails. But we kind of talked it through earlier about why is because you have so many emails already, and we're asking just to be one more. So we get it. We understand.
Yeah.
Send us one anyway. Like to hear from you.
How many emails do you get a day, HD? I'd imagine between emails and text, how many of those do you get a day?
Yeah.
If you had to guess.
Maybe 100 or so. Yeah.
It
I bet it's
easily.
more. I bet it's more than that.
Probably.
It's got to be way more than that, because I'm a part of several different youth minister text groups, and just those text groups, I will get several hundred text messages a day. I'm like, y'all, don't y'all work?
Hey, you better send me something good when you send it to me, because you're going directly. I'm going to flag you as spam immediately. If it's not, pretty legit.
By the way, I sent you something, so don't spam me.
You did send me something?
Yeah, earlier. Off air.
I may have already done that.
Okay.
I'll double check.
Yeah, we'll come back to that later.
Okay. Where were we?
Yeah, we're getting
Front porch. On the front porch today, I thought it would be interesting. It was earlier, so we'll see if it winds up again this time, actually being recorded. But I thought it'd be interesting to talk about current projects that you have going on. Not work related, because that stuff can get really boring, especially at churches. Anyway, not to beleaguer the bashing of the church stuff. But anyway, current projects like around your house, hobby-wise, craft-wise, just, projects. Jason, why don't you begin?
Well,
Again.
Do you want me to mention the ones that have been on my docket to do for a long time and just never have happened?
Well, all of mine are that way, so yeah.
So I have a 5-gallon bucket of paint in my garage that is intended to reface our cabinets, because it's all wood and very dark. It's nice. They're still really nice, but it's just all very dark in our kitchen. So I would love to reface those. But it's a matter of actually doing the work. So I haven't done that yet. That's one project. Back in June.
How long you had this paint? Because it may be.
It's never been open, so I'm hoping it's still okay, but it may not be. But I got it on sale, so it was like 75% off. So it's not a big loss if we didn't get it. Back in the summer, like June, July, something like that, Karis decided, that's my youngest daughter, she decided she didn't want to be in an elevated bed anymore. So we have her down now in a lower bed, and I'm going to make a headboard for her, but life hit, and I haven't been able to do that.
Right.
But I was able to do a project. My daughter bought this car, and engine-wise, body-wise, it's in great condition, except for the fact that paint was coming off everywhere. And so, I started getting some quotes on getting that fixed. And we had one company quote us $10,000 to refinish and repaint the car. I'm like, ooh, that's $1,000 more than what we actually paid for the vehicle. So that's probably not going to happen.
That was we don't really want this job.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I ended up, I found this company called scratcheshappen.com, and I was like, all right, look, $100, and we got this kit. It's spray paint. It's 2-stage, so it's actually not just white, but it's white and the pearl, and then you can spray it with the clear coat. So I did that to my daughter's car, and it ended up looking okay. I mean, it's a very reasonably priced first purchase for her, and it ended up looking good, and hopefully it's stopping all the rust. But that encouraged me to do that to a toolbox. And hopefully you don't know that this is one of the projects you have coming, but hopefully you'll do my motorcycle. Yeah.
We've been talking about that.
Yeah, we've been talking about that for
so
7 years or something.
So
least.
you have a white pearlized toolbox now?
No, my daughter's
I was
car.
sitting there going
I saw like
It's called Aspen White or
I
something
know,
like
but
that.
you said, didn't that encourage me? I was like, so you had leftover paint and you
No,
went and painted your
no,
toolbox.
my toolbox is
white.
going to get painted black.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
that's a little more
you
manly.
can have your
matches the
card
real
back now.
guard,
Yeah.
matches the wheels. And
Okay.
it's white right now, but
you get your card back.
yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so I think we've solidified the fact that you do have some projects.
He's got some
going on.
projects.
I'm all over the place.
And we'll airbrush your motorcycle tank up someday. I hadn't done any airbrushing in a long time, so I'm kind of looking forward to that anyway.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
HD.
I've been
Jones?
in my house 30 years. And you know what you do?
Has it really been that long?
It's been that long. Yeah, Reed was
Wow.
born. And, we brought him home from the hospital in that house.
He was born in that house?
Wow.
Well, no, because that's
Didn't go to the
that's a
hospital.
whole nother trauma story. But no, so when you build your house, you always have those things, right? So one of the things that we did not do well, we didn't have enough garage space. So I'm always trying to find ways to make this small garage bigger by like doing things. So I decided to move my freezer because it was in front of the car, and every time you want to get something out of the freezer, you had to move the car. So literally in my freezer at one point there was like my cornhole bags, because you keep them in there to keep the weevils out of your corn.
Didn't know that.
Right?
I did not know that.
Yeah. So I had my cornhole bags in there, and then like one frozen pizza for like months. And I'm like, we're not using this. So I got this bright idea, and I built this stand and put my freezer over on the side, but I wanted it up out of the way, and I needed more space. So I built basically a stand for my freezer. If you could have seen my wife and I trying to figure out how to move this freezer. And
is it a chest freezer, or
no? It's an up and down freezer.
Okay,
and it's literally up underneath the rails of the garage door, so it's like all on one wall, and a probably about 600-pound fireproof file cabinet. Oh yeah, it was quite hilarious.
Is that the one from the church that we got rid of years ago?
Yeah, maybe
that thing was stupid heavy.
Yeah, so I've worked on that. Now I'm working on where the freezer was.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of shelving and stuff I need to put back over there where I can get all the junk off the floor, and then I just get mad and start throwing stuff away. Like, why do I need my stuff from Boy Scouts where I was cooking on a fire? I hadn't cooked on a fire in 45 years.
I know how that works.
Get rid of this stuff.
I do know how that works.
So yeah.
So I'm picturing y'all lifted the freezer now up on a stand that you built.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
So did you video any of that?
No.
How'd you do that? Was it like ratchet straps? Did you use a jack?
I got one of our smaller tractors, and I used the front end loader, but it still wasn't quite, and things shift and move when you're.
So you drove the tractor in the garage.
Yeah.
And then lifted a freezer.
Yeah.
with a bucket.
Yep. Yep.
That's redneck.
Yeah,
that's redneck ingenuity.
And then of course,
but
my wife, she grew up in the city.
Yeah.
So things like points where you hold things where it won't flip off and kill you, and then I'm screaming at her like, if it starts moving, get out of the way. What? Oh my gosh. So we didn't get divorced. The freezer's up there. I'm somewhat proud.
One quick question. Who told you to put the hacky sack things in the freezer?
I don't know where I heard that, but yeah, it made sense.
Interesting. Okay, so this is coughing up way more than I thought it would. So I mean, we'll have to have another episode about the project.
So you picking up the freezer that way?
Yeah.
I have I guess he's a relative. He's a relative by my grandma's remarriage. I'm not related to him at all, except for the fact that she's married. Anyway,
let me get out my Arkansas books and see what that means. Right there.
I have a friend.
He tried to pick up my dad's old toolbox with a front end loader, and I'm like, hey man, this thing's really heavy, and those are not the lift points. And he's like, well, let's try it. I'm like, no. And he got it a couple inches off the ground. It acted like it was about to tip over. So you definitely got to be careful with those things.
I mean, and here's what's going through my mind the whole time. So I've got a buddy that used to go to church with us, and he tried to move a safe and dropped that safe on his foot and ended up having to have his foot amputated.
Oh,
so
that's
that
serious.
was kind of our fear in the back of our minds. Like,
well, yeah,
we're just trying to improve a little bit in the garage, but I don't want to go around stumpy. I don't want to lose body parts over it, man. This could be bad.
That's serious right there. Interesting.
How did you support the fridge or the freezer? I mean, like, how much wood did you have to use to support that? Because that's not light.
Yeah, I would like to see what it was you built.
Yeah, you just have to come see. It's quite ingenious.
Yeah, I can imagine. I know how those projects work.
Did you try to utilize the space under it in any way?
Oh yeah, it's doors. It's doors, so I can put stuff underneath.
So how do you get to the things on the top shelf there? Do you have to get in a ladder?
I can reach them.
Bucket truck on the tractor.
He's got to back the car out.
He used to back the car out. He got to pull the tractor in there.
I can reach everything. My wife, not so much, but
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so me and projects is kind of an interesting topic, and like I told y'all before we started,
some good stories.
Well,
Can we take one of these cameras and just go around outside?
Yeah, because you would see projects.
An Airstream and
it's like there's an Airstream out there in my driveway that I accidentally bought in Arkansas a few years ago.
How do you accidentally buy an item that large?
If you would follow me around a little bit, you would see. But anyway, that's an ongoing project because I thought about restoring it a little bit and then selling it, but then that turned into totally gutting it and rebuilding the whole thing. But it's like 80% done.
It looks good.
80% done. Like the painting that used to be over here on the wall here in the studio, it was about 90% done, but it didn't have the bicycle. That's a project. But that's why there's a different picture over there, is because it just needs something different for a little bit. But anyway,
In the meantime, I built a hat rack.
Well, the hat rack, the thing hanging there is just an interesting thing I saw on the internet that was confusing. I don't know if you can see it good on this video, but it looks like it's suspended kind of in air by these chains. Anyway, that's a project. That's one of them that I finished. There's a mandolin over here behind me, over here. The reason that mandolin exists is because there's also a 1953 International Harvester pickup in the back corner of my property that's taken apart because I was restoring it.
Gumby.
And I was rebuilding it, and it rained one day. And so I had to come inside, and I'd been wanting to build a mandolin. So I spent the next 13 weeks building that. And Gumby, the old truck, is still down there in the corner of the yard. So me and projects
Why did
have
you
this
name
thing.
it Gumby?
Because it's green.
Oh, okay.
It's just
like
green
the
and
stretchy
yeah.
doll thing.
Yeah, I was driving it around before I took it apart. I mean, we didn't even really roll the windows up in the winter. It would snow inside of it. And
So the vehicle worked before he started working
Exactly.
on it, and now it hasn't worked in years.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. So I've learned a good lesson on that sort of thing over the
Yeah.
years. So be careful about what you take apart, because you have to put things back together.
Take lots of pictures.
Yes. So anyway, yeah, there's lots of projects that I don't really finish all of them usually. And maybe I have a reputation for that, but boy, I get a strong start to most of them. That was interesting. We'll come back to this on another episode, because I sense that we have barely scratched the surface here. This is not a project, but I got to tell you something my son did. Both of y'all talked about your freezer and one pizza in there, and you talked about, what did you talk about? The shopping, the discount. You got that paint at a discount?
Oh, yeah.
My son has this thing he does. He roams around to Kroger stores. And
Okay.
Kroger has these clearance items all scattered through the store, and they got these little yellow and red stickers or something that says clearance. And well, he has become a professional shopper of that sort of stuff. He's got like a freezer at his place that's chock full of like $1 packages of bacon and stuff. When he finds it, he just stocks up. It's kind of fascinating, really. He shows up to my house last night. We watched Survivor together on Wednesdays. This is actually Thursday when we're doing this. But he shows up at the house with this backpack, and he's grinning from ear to ear. And he opens the backpack, and there are 22 bottles of barbecue sauce in there. Hickory and brown sugar barbecue sauce.
That's an awful lot.
Well, the reason is, I'll tell you briefly, the reason is each bottle had one of those clearance stickers on it, and it said $1.03. The reason he got 22 of them, because he picked up 4 or 5 of them. He goes up to check out, and as he's up there at the front, he notices a display of that same bottle that's not on clearance on sale. And you know, Kroger has these buy 5, et cetera, et cetera. It said buy 5, get $1 off each bottle. Well, he ran his 4 or 5 through the register to see if that worked on those 5, and it did. So he went back and got the rest of them. So he bought 22 bottles of barbecue sauce for 3 cents a bottle.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But anyway, I never get that lucky. I go roam through a whole store and I don't find anything. I find like a discount cheese or something that, you know,
Has
you really
mold on it.
shouldn't buy. Okay, that's not a project, but I just thought it was interesting. And if y'all need some barbecue sauce, I've got 5 bottles down there somewhere. We'll take a break, come back and talk about some stuff found in the Bible.
We're visiting room 10 to see an exhibit on courtesy. Watch how Pete and Marion act as host and hosted. We help to make our meetings with other people courteous by using such words as please. On the other hand, thank you is a simple way to repay those who do things for you. Another expression we need all the time is excuse me. Still, another way to smooth your meetings with other people is may I. Besides these examples of courtesy, there are others. For instance, Mrs. Anderson's way of constructive suggestion.
It's really quite good, Bill, but don't you think these courteous ways can be used in more than just these 4 situations?
Oh, yes, you're right, Mother. We need them all the time.
There's a technique to shaking hands. No one likes to have his hand crushed by a bear, nor to clasp one like this, sometimes referred to as dead fish. You realize that it's the simple things, being friendly, thinking of the other person, and showing respect that make up everyday courtesy. Real living courtesy has made the evening a pleasure and a success.
Hey, we're back. Hey, Jason.
Yeah.
Since you've been gone, I'm wondering if you have any new thoughts about the Bible, the book.
All right, just as an aside, I think in songs oftentimes, and so when you just said "since you've been gone," my mind immediately went to the Avril Lavigne song "Since You've Been Gone."
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyway,
Interesting.
that will help you into the chaos that goes in my mind. All the time.
We're there already.
You're like, yeah, we were well aware of that. So Deuteronomy is a book of the Bible. You got Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. It's the fifth book of the Bible. It finishes up kind of what they call the Pentateuch. Pentateuch just being the first 5 books of the Bible. And so the context of Deuteronomy is that Israel, to quote the meme, you are so dumb. You are really, really dumb. I mean, for real. They had just spent 40 years in the wilderness because they've been dumb and they didn't listen to God the first time. And so they're fixing to go into the promised land. Moses is, he doesn't actually even get to go into the promised land, but Israel as a nation is fixing to be led into the promised land by Joshua. And Deuteronomy literally just means second law. Deutero meaning other or second, and then namas meaning law. So it's just a retelling of the law after they've been through 40 years of punishment in the wilderness. And so it's really interesting when
I never knew this, Jason.
You're welcome.
The whole book of Deuteronomy is a retelling of the law after this period of roaming around.
Yeah, so
really?
it's kind of a recounting of their stupidity and then a retelling of the law just before Israel re-enters the promise.
Because the older generations passed away,
Yeah.
and so now this is the new generation, and so they're making sure that they have the law, firsthand knowledge.
Yeah.
Well, this is just interesting having a meaning to that weird word.
Yeah.
So, nice. It's kind of like the Munbrin. There's a street in Nashville named it. That's another story. But carry on.
I struggled so much trying to figure out how to say that word, Demumbrian.
Mm-hmm. See, I'd say it wrong
He
even.
still struggles with
Yeah,
it.
I'm probably saying it wrong. Anyway,
Deuteronomy.
So it's interesting in Deuteronomy chapter 4 when it starts talking about obedience, because the context of that is Israel was disobedient. They didn't enter the promised land when God told them to. They chose not to obey. They said it was better back in Israel. It was better back in slavery. So they chose not to listen to God. And there were consequences that come from that. So 40 years of wandering in the wilderness, 40 years them having to trust God daily for all their sustenance, all their needs, and wandering around and missing out on all the good things that God has for them, because they chose not to listen, to be disobedient. And so when it gets into chapter 4 and starts talking about this obedience, that kind of makes me think, what does obedience look like? Not just as a singular act, but what does obedience look like as a lifestyle? How does somebody live a lifestyle of obedience? What do you guys think?
You're so good at this, Jackson. You're really good at obedience. I think you
Yeah, this is my forte right
I
here.
think you should lead the class.
It's a master class in obedience right here.
The question is,
TED
what
Talk.
does obedience look like?
As a lifestyle, not a singular thing that you do, not like growing up, your parents tell you to do the dishes before you get home.
Yeah.
And you do the dishes before you get home, because if you were at like my house, you're going to get beat if you didn't, right? So
Yeah, so I can boil it down pretty
Yeah.
quickly here. In my own head, I am a bit of a rebel. I'll admit,
with or without a cause.
it depends. I'll take
right.
a good cause if I come across one.
Okay.
But no. So the word obedience for a rebel like myself automatically, triggers something in you that makes you want to,
Bow up.
go
Not
up
do
against it a little bit or something. But I say that to say this: obedience in faith and Christianity and all, obedience to me is not do's and don'ts. Obedience to me is taking what I learn or maybe what he lets me pick up on, and trying it out, and then applying it. I guess apply is another churchy word. I don't have the buzzer on yet, but so to me, the word obedience, if I'm thinking in terms of black and white, you do this or else, I'm going to fight you on that.
Yeah.
It's just in my nature to do that. I'm going to fight you on that. I think it's in human nature to bow up, as you said, against that.
Especially for guys.
Yeah, I know some women that'll bow right up on you too, though.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of some right about now, but
Not that we're going to name any of you, but your initials are no.
no, but so what I'm saying is for me to understand some of these high, lofty spiritual concepts, I have to boil it down and take that threat of feeling like I need to bow up, and so I view it different. I view it as though my involvement in the church I go to for the last 30 years or whatever has been really good for me, because
You heard it here. Going to church is good for Michael Jackson.
yes, it's
It
been really
might be good for you too. So just if you don't find,
But here's why it's been so good to me, for me, is because it's given me a safe place to be who I really am and try out all the things that God has made me able to do.
sure.
It's given me a safe place to try things. And through trying things, you learn. Little by little, you pick up on what's good and what's bad, and and in the I guess the faith realm, to me, it being able to live things out there in a safe place amongst a lot of people that I like and know has allowed me to learn things that the rebel in me might not have learned so easily if I were just looking at it as a set of rules. Yeah.
So this is really interesting. I did not plan on the discussion kind of going this direction, but I like where you're taking this.
You're welcome.
It's going to
So
happen.
you're saying obedience is God made you one way, and obedience is living as God designed you to be.
Well, not only as He designed me to be, but there's a set of parameters that's
Sure,
the
you
same
gotta
for
be-
all of us.
Yeah.
That's like this talk about people get all hung up on what's God's will for me.
Mm-hmm.
His will for you is the same as it is for everybody else. The particulars are up to you. You're in charge of eating your food.
Yeah.
But there's this set of parameters that are the same for everybody. God's will is that you follow Him along on this great journey where He wants you to go to.
Yeah.
That's His will for you, and treat the people around you good and try to get them to go with you. To me, I believe there's a certain God's will that's the same for everybody.
Sure.
So I don't get all bent out of shape in my head about waiting on specifics. I'm going to go do stuff.
Yeah.
So,
But you've been obedient over the years, and one of the ways that the obedience is played out in your life is you're very artistic. And so you've been obedient to God. He gave you that gift and you've used it. Like our children's wing is phenomenal because of some of the things that you've done. As you go into the children's wing, there's that painting all on the side of the doors and that whole side as you walk in. It's welcoming, it's inviting. It creates a space where other people can come and feel comfortable and hear God because there's not all the distractions. The Welcome Center in the children's area is all about you being obedient to God. I mean, you just have this phenomenal wall-to-wall painting in there that just makes people feel, hey, this is an inviting place. This is some place that I can come and experience God. And obedience is not just a negative thing, like do this or else. It's do this because I've made you this way. And there's the privilege and blessing of living in obedience.
and on the same note, all those things you're talking about that I've done there, I was happy doing them.
Yeah.
I loved
It's not
doing
a
it. I
negative
wanted
thing.
to do it. No, it was very positive.
Yeah.
So I didn't bow up at once doing any of that.
Except for maybe if somebody put a timeline on you and they're like, well, it may not be done in that time, right?
Yeah, there's that.
I guess the older you get, I agree with you. You kind of look at obedience a little different. It's easy to just get on the checklist, which I mean, obviously, those checklists are kind of some big things where God is screaming at you, don't do this because it's going to ruin your life, right? But more than that, it's this relationship that you have with God. So I'll equate it to the relationship that I have with my spouse. We have this understanding in our relationship that if there's ever somebody that she feels like that person just talks to you or treats you in a way that makes me feel uncomfortable, I will listen to that. She hasn't looked at me and said, I forbid you to talk to this person. But I know her heart in that is, this makes me feel uncomfortable, and so I will follow that and be obedient to that because I don't want to purposely hurt her. I don't want to make her feel awkward about a situation. And so, and that's been few and far between. But if she tells me that, I listen to that because she's not doing it because she's insecure, and she's not doing it because she feels something's weird, but it's just it's her, it's what she needs, right? And so what God needs from us is our obedience. And so I think it's more than just checklist. It's stopping and realizing, okay, God, you've told me this for a reason. Whether I understand the reason or even agree with the reason, I'm going to do it just because this is what you've asked me to do.
So that's kind of along the same lines, is that you're not really following a certain checklist there. Right. You're doing something because you understand.
Yep.
You understand there's a reason.
Yep.
Interesting.
You guys ever watch MMA?
I love MMA. I'll sit around and watch it all day.
Yeah.
I really will.
I remember watching the very first few MMA, like
Before
UFC
they had the
1.
gloves and stuff.
UFC 1, and there was a senator, I can't remember what his name was, but he referred to MMA as human cockfighting. And, man, it was the Wild West out there. It was crazy. And it's since gotten a little bit less brutal.
Yeah, they put gloves on now.
They put the 6-ounce gloves on there. They're not as big as boxing gloves, but they're 6-ounce gloves. But there's an element in there, and there's a whole different series of ways that you can end a match, and they call them submissions, right? And so basically a submission is you, to use the phrase, tap out or pass out, or tap out, or you're about to lose a limb or something, So they'll get down there and they'll put you in a triangle leg,
rear naked
choke or something, and you either tap out or it goes badly for you. And so we oftentimes have an idea of submission in the negative sense like that. We have an idea that it's God and we're struggling with him, and if we don't listen, if we don't submit to his authority, that it's going to go sideways for us, and we begrudgingly do it just because we have to. But there's another side of the submission, and the side of the submission that is really what we should focus on more often, is that God has made us one way, and he has made us to be individuals, and he's made us unique. He's given us our personalities. He's given us our natural talents and our bents. Submission to God is not just a negative thing. It's finding out who you are and doing it on purpose. Finding out what God made you to be and living in that. In Proverbs, it talks about how raise a child in the way that they should go. Not forcing a kid to be something that they're not. It's not making a piano player into a football player, or a football player into a trombone player. I mean, it's finding out how God made you, and then living in that on purpose, because it's easier when you do things God's way, when you submit to his authority, when you make it your lifestyle to be who God designed you to be. And
well, this book, even, I mean, it's obedience is about blessings.
Yeah.
God says, I have a way for you to go, and if you'll follow my way, it'll be a blessed way. In Deuteronomy, we are coming out of 40 years of rebellion.
Yeah.
What should have taken 40 days has taken them 40 years. And that whole generation missed out on the blessing. I've done this to my kids and my grandkids. Give them something to do, right? Because you want them to learn, and you want them to grow and experience. Work is not a bad thing. So I might say to them, like, hey guys, pick up your Legos and let's go on to do the next thing, and just watch. I don't get down there and beat them up. Sometimes when they're little, you get down there and show them how to do it, but you just kind of give them, right, the choice to do it or not do it. And if they do a good job, then you say, okay, let's go get ice cream. That's what I was really wanting to do anyway, was go get ice cream. but I wanted to see if you're willing to follow through the steps to go get ice cream. Now, if they didn't, then they're like, can we get a bed snack? Well, yeah, you can get something out of the cabinet. I was going to take you for ice cream. Oh, let's go to ice cream. No, you didn't clean up. I'll clean up now. Nope, it was too late. And so I think sometimes this obedience thing too is God going, do you trust me enough that when you don't see what's in front of you and you don't understand, are you going to follow me anyway because I have something better for you if you'll just take these steps with me?
Yeah.
I found that he will take care of me regardless of me.
Yeah.
But he'll do things for me if I do things a different way.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
I just lay back and just try to get by, I have found that he will not let me perish.
There's a wonderful parable, and it's one of my favorites, where you have two sons, and Dad basically gives them an assignment, and Dad leaves. First son acts like he's going to be obedient. He's the, oh, yes, Dad, we'll get all the crops done, and we're going to do your work. And then as soon as Dad leaves, he just sits down. He doesn't do the work. And then the other son, who is kind of like rebellious, I don't want to do the work. No, but then Dad leaves and the son does the work. And the comparison is, which one is the better son? And so many times we give lip service to, oh yeah, I'm going to be obedient. I'm going to honor you in my walk. I'm going to honor you with what I watch on TV. But then, do we do it or not? And I think what he understands, that rebellious spirit. He's okay. He's okay with that. He died to fix that, but he understands that because he gave you free will, and he wants you to work through that to come to the better decision.
Absolutely, yeah.
Can I share a personal story?
Absolutely.
You might as well.
So I was actually having coffee with my wife just today, actually, and I was drinking coffee with her. She wanted to spend some time with me. We've been married 20 years as of the 22nd of this month, and she still likes me most days, so that's phenomenal. And so when she was like,
good.
hey, can we have
Pretty
some
good.
coffee together? I was like, yeah, let's do this. And so we sit there and we're just talking, and she didn't need to talk about anything, but in talking, she brought up the story of my dad and my mom moving into the house with us. And she said that, early on, she doesn't know that she would have been able to do that and do it well. It would have been difficult for her to be in that environment and have different personalities and everything. But fast forward all these years, God prepares us to be obedient. And he makes it possible for us to be obedient. He gives us both the desire and the ability to be obedient. And there's a blessing that comes from that. Whereas early in our marriage, it would have been destructive to do things a certain way. When God prepares you to be obedient, it's not destruction, it's blessing. And so we got the blessing when we invited my parents to come live with us, because my dad had Alzheimer's, and my mom just, it's beyond her to be able to care for my dad in the way that he needed. And so we invited them in so that we could walk with her through that journey. And it wasn't a bad thing. It wasn't a negative thing. It was a blessing. We got the blessing of time with them in a way that we would never have. And it was unexpected. We thought we were just being obedient because my mom needed help. But when we were obedient, we got the blessing of the time. My kids, who would have never really spent much time with my dad, got childhood memories.
Yeah,
like
that's good. That's
just phenomenal.
That's worth a lot.
It is,
Dude.
Yeah,
That's what they call him. That's great, isn't it? Dude.
Yeah, my nephew named my dad. He's named Dude. Yeah, but we got humorous stories out of it. We got great memories out of it, and it was something totally unexpected. And when you do things God's way, you don't understand where your obedience is going to take you. But let me just tell you, doing things God's way is always better. And there are blessings that you'll never see coming that will just completely overwhelm any negative thoughts that you have about being obedient. It'll overwhelm you if you just let it in a positive way.
Is that the summary of what we're talking about right here?
I think that's a good place to.
Yep.
Because the folks who spent 40 years
don't want to feel like this podcast lasts that long.
Yeah, well, that too, but I don't know. It's not a shortcut to good things, because I don't think there are shortcuts. You still got to live your life out, but there's an easier way to live. There's just an easier way. And well, some of them are do's and don'ts.
Yeah.
You know.
In the same way that you teach your kids not to stick things in the light socket, right?
Yeah, but out of today, the best thing I heard was when you were talking about the scripture that says, train them up in the way they should go.
I'd never
thought about that before like that. But being someone who's a little different, I like that. I needed to hear that.
He clued me in on that right there.
Yeah, because when somebody tries to put you in their box, it doesn't feel comfortable, right?
No.
You have to do it your way, because that's the way God created you. And you'll be obedient when you're given the parameters that fit your personality, right? Yeah, there's those big things that, again, we do it with our kids. If my kid's walking over there to stick their finger in a 220 socket, I'm going to knock them on their tail to save their life.
Right.
And God will knock you on your tail, and he gives you those. But the little things, it's just like, hey, follow me in this, and I will let you be blessed. Follow me, and I've given you these gifts. Follow me in it, and it'll be a blessing. Do it your way. You still have the gifts, but you're just not going to be fulfilled with it.
Yeah, I can testify to that.
Yeah.
The years before, I did all these things at my church I go to. When I was doing them for different reasons, it was never really satisfying in the same way.
Yep.
It was brief, fleeting satisfaction. But yeah, it's a whole different world. What would you guys say to somebody who needs to try what we've tried right about here?
HC, you always use a verse, taste and see that the Lord is good.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, God offers an invitation.
Give it a shot. That's the same thing.
Exactly. God offers us an invitation. Come and taste and see that the Lord is good. And I would say to anybody who's struggling out there, if you will cry out to this God that you're not even sure is real, and just say, hey, I want to know if you'll show me, and you're being honest about that, you'll find that he'll put some people in your path. There'll be some kind of something that's said on the TV or the radio. I mean, he's not limited in the ways that he can talk to you, but you just have to have that open heart. If you have that open heart, now you have to do it in surrender. You can't come to him and go, now I'm still going to do this, and this, and you're going to be okay with it. It doesn't work that way. It's a submission that says, I really want to know who you are, because I'm miserable and I want to know. And if they'll do that, I think God will meet them there. And if any of those people want to know more details, info at MikeTheBaptist.com, right?
Comments at Mike the Baptist. I don't think we have an info at yet.
Maybe that's the reason nobody.
Could be.
It's because I'm telling them the wrong place.
Interesting things. Send us some at info at.
Yeah. Why don't you go to comments
Send your comments to garbage at MikeTheBaptist.com.
That's probably all been going to Joel Osteen.
Probably. Yeah.
All these years. Hey, good talk. Deuteronomy. The word has a meaning. I'm fascinated. It has a meaning. Okay. Demumbrian still doesn't have really a meaning. Although it's a name of somebody.
Yeah, it's a name, right?
Yes. Okay. We'll take a break, come back and play Inny or Outy.
Hey everybody, it's time to play America's almost favoritest new game show, Inny or Outy, where we challenge our guests to figure out if a phrase we give them is actually in the Bible or out of the Bible. Sharpen your wits, guest. You're about to be in the hot seat of Bible stuff, because you're the next contestant on Inny or Outy. Here's Mike.
We're going to ask each other if something's in the Bible or out. If it's in, it's an Inny. If it's out, it's an Outy. Fair?
Seems reasonable.
What else is there to be said?
Well, it's either Inny or Outy.
Inny or Outy, one of the two. Okay, so that we had that discussion. We found out now what Deuteronomy means, and we've also I had extra onomy in there. Anyway, and now we know how Inny or Outy works. HD,
yes,
challenge
sir.
Jason and I, would you?
All right. A man's word is his bond.
I think he's asking us if that's in there.
I think that may be the entire game.
A man's word is his bond.
Bond. Yep.
Man's word is his bond.
James Bond.
Jason, so here's my question. Something just struck me. You know, the kings and stuff in medieval times, they had wax. They had a ring or something. And they melted wax on an envelope, and then they put their seal in there. Kind of like their bond.
Sure.
So what struck me was, did they do back in these biblical days?
You want to know what they did back in the biblical days?
Sure.
They would actually like take off their shoe, and that was the sign of the covenant between the two. Like if they made a deal at the entrance to the gate,
Boaz took off his shoe.
They would exchange shoes.
I would say that makes sense.
I don't get it.
Oh, they would trade shoes.
But in the New Testament, we do have seals. On
What
the
if one was a size 11 and one was a size 6?
Well, I don't think you exchanged. I think you held out your shoe and
what?
Kind of like you do phones now, and you get to each other's contact number.
All right.
You take each other's dust off the shoe. Okay, I was not expecting that. So, but my question was, did they have a wax deal? Like, but they had a bond. That was your point, is they did have a bond.
Yeah, they did have a way of sealing a contract.
And you're asking us, a man's word is his bond.
Right.
We'll see.
Can you say the phrase again?
A man's word.
Is his
A
bond.
man's word is his bond.
But Jason, he didn't say anything about sandals or shoes.
He did not. I'm leaning towards. That sounds like a proverb.
It sounds like later times to me. Yeah, it doesn't sound like proverbial language to me. But I also never finish a project, so there's that.
God,
A man's word is his bond.
I feel like
Well,
it's
it
in
does
there.
kind of sound like a proverb. Yeah, because in those lists of, an owl's legs are its downfall. A man's word
what?
is his bond.
An
Well, you showed me that
owl's-
picture of an owl a while ago with his skirt up and those weird legs. And I've never
Owls
seen
have
that
weird
before.
legs. Yeah, you'll never be able to see an owl again if you.
No,
up what
it
their
already
legs look like.
damaged me. But what I'm saying is, in Proverbs, they go through his list. An owl's legs are its, embarrassment. A man's word is his bond. So I can see that. I would go with you on that.
I feel like it's in there, but I mean, I can't. It's not like I know that it's in there, but it sounds like it should be. It may be hootenanny. I mean, it may just want it to be in there, and it's not.
Okay, my gut has this reserved feeling that's later language than biblical times, but I can also see that fitting into Proverbs.
Well, I mean, every translation that we have is not a word for word translation because it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Because when the Bible describes love and passion and different things like that, it's actually talking about your bowels. But that is not how we translate love and emotions in our culture. So, they're going to translate it in a way that makes sense to us. So even if it sounds like an anachronism, like something we say now that we think was back then.
So the
but
Song of Solomon's was really more a gut ache?
might very well have been. I'd have to
A
look
what?
at the words.
Wow.
A gut ache
Yeah.
Yeah.
instead of what?
Love and romance.
Oh,
Love. Ooh,
I don't know, Jason. I don't have a good feeling about it being in there, but
you might very well be right, but I have a gut feling, my turbulent bowels.
because in those days you had to like give up a goat or something too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like Reagan said, trust but verify. Is that what he said?
Sure. Sounds good.
So back in their day, it was like trust but get a goat.
I may be 60-40
Which way?
that it's in.
That it's in. I'm probably 60-40 the other way.
There was one time a guy
So y'all
visited
are
a prostitute
50-50.
and had to give up his staff and cord. That's in there.
Well, I'll go with you. It's in Innie.
But I'm not like super solid on it. It's 60-40, but I think it's in there.
I'm tired.
I'll go with you, yeah, because we got to get.
So
to the
you're
resolution.
saying it's an Innie.
Innie.
We're saying it's an Innie.
That's actually a 17th century phrase.
I knew something was off a little bit.
But you did have testimonies because you went to court in the old times. I mean, you went to court, and Jesus would say, you had to have a witness, two witnesses. So a man's word is his bond.
Dang.
But it's just
They didn't say that until later.
Right.
It sounded like something they would say later.
17th century.
It was a good conversation, though.
Right.
You were right on. I should have paid attention.
Yeah, it's just a gut. My gut does
We
things.
brought that.
Okay, it's my turn. Is the phrase "old rugged cross" in the Bible? On a hill far away. The phrase "old rugged cross."
I have a quick gut reaction, strongly one way, but I don't know. I mean, I have a strong reaction one way, but I might just be very well overlooking something that is in there. I think it's outie, but
What percentage are you this time?
70-30.
I mean, you think,
Oh,
you think about the picture of the cross, the word picture. I mean, obviously, you've got the skull, you've got all the beating and stuff that Christ went through. His cross was heavy, but I don't remember anything in there about being rugged.
I feel like if anybody was going to use that phrase, it probably would have been like Paul after the Gospels. But I can't remember him being poetically describing it as the old rugged cross. Who were the other authors in after the Gospels? Would be John. I can't think of him saying that. James, I can't think of him saying that.
Peter.
Peter did write some. Jude did write some. I cannot remember any of them being poetic to say old rugged cross.
could it have been before him?
Well, I mean, you
Just
got
something to
Matthew,
think
Mark, and
about.
Luke, the Gospels, and
Crucifixion was actually a pretty new form of punishment with the Romans.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that blows up what my question. Just trying to give y'all something to think about, but
Which incidentally, when in the Old Testament it references what is being described as crucifixion, that hadn't been
Yeah.
invented yet. So that's one of the reasons that you can have.
He who is cursed is hanged on a tree.
Yeah.
But in the New Testament, they point to that phraseology because he was cursed because he was hung on a tree. But that was not.
And the piercing,
Yeah.
that wasn't something that they did back when that was written. It was really just a God pulling back the curtain saying this is what's going to happen.
Yeah. It's a nice song, but I don't think it's in the Bible.
I mean, because that's poetry.
Yeah.
And I cannot think of any of the New Testament authors that would have used that phrasing. Most of them is very, very much like teaching. Most of it is very like encouraging, coming alongside. There's poetry in the New Testament, but not like in the Old Testament with the book of Psalms, with Song of Solomon, stuff like that.
So I think we're saying it's an outie.
you're saying it's an outie.
I'm saying it's an outie.
George Bernard in 1912 wrote The Old Rugged Cross.
George Bernard.
But when you think about that phrase, you think,
It's very churchy.
should I argue that that's not in the Bible somewhere?
Pretty
But
churchy.
It's very churchy. I kind of miss singing that in churches. You don't hear it much in churches
Right.
anymore. Okay. Anyway, so you all won. That's correct. You
All
are
right.
correct. Good round.
Yep.
Let's take a break. Come back and say goodbye.
Oh, wow. What a great contestant and a fine sport today on Inny or Outie, America's almost favorite new game show. Study up, future guest people. You're next in the hot seat for Inny or Outie.
Oh, the many ways we could say goodbye.
Adios.
That's one.
Sayonara.
Aloha.
Aloha, that's two.
Means hello and goodbye.
Exactly. That's the reason
Sayonara.
Okay. This is not really French, but I used to say this to my kids. A river perch.
Arrivederci.
Yes, but
Okay,
I would
yeah.
say a river perch. Trying to be funny.
Doesn't that mean good arrival?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't speak
What about
French.
taco? You ever heard somebody say that? Taco.
I have not heard anybody say that.
Never once in my life up until this moment.
Must be a Greenbrier,
It
Tennessee
probably
thing.
is, yeah.
Anyway, we're glad you joined us today. There's been some fractured thoughts, processes, but that's common too. Jason's back. That's why.
Yeah, it was good, clean conversation up until this week when I came
Jason
back.
showed back up and off the rails, but we actually kind of like it off the rails. So
Well, the crazy train's kind of fun.
it is kind of fun. Anyway, we're glad you all joined us too. H.T. Jones,
Hey, good to be here.
Jason Riccardi.
What's up?
I'm Mike
See
the
ya.
Baptist. We'll actually see you next week with this same threesome.
So,
Yes, it's liable to be more of the same. We'll see what happens, but it's liable to be, just so you know. Anyway, come back and join us. In the meantime, remember, folks, we're all just Christians.
Try not to.
Try not to cuss.
There you go.
We're all just Christians. Try not to cuss.
There goes that obedience thing.
Oh, yeah, it is. I'm working on that
There you
one.
go.
Pretty good. Pretty
That's
hard.
good.
Okay, anyway, we'll see you next time.
Mike the Baptist.